This is by far probably one of the most valuable videos that I've ever released in this channel, just coming from a fact where this is a private recording from a one-on-one client that I don't usually do often in this channel at all, okay? So if you're a brand where you're struggling with content strategies, organic marketing, just the ability to just grow the brand through content, all right? This video is going to change your life, okay? Hope you get some value out of it. Let's get straight into it.
You said you're sort of stuck in terms of making content like this, I would definitely boost post, optimize for followers, right? Not engagement. That's a big thing, right? Because followers are a bigger retargeting pool for Metapixel when we do run it. It also helps decrease frequency when we are scaling up as well. Obviously, a big brand, if you spend $20, it's gonna have no effect in the frequency because it has such a big retargeting pool, and that's the same thing we want. Okay, that comes from boost post. So, for the actual content you post for clothing brands, it's not necessarily a thing where you have to post every day. It's not really about like the quantity, but it's more about the quality in terms of intent in what we post. So for you, I wouldn't really be focused on like value for a clothing brand. I would sort of focus on these three layers of content. Phase one is obviously your messaging content, right? In terms of, I guess, first of all, like, what is a message you sort of want to position your brand to portray to your audiences, right? In different ways. How can they package that into different content pieces that relate? And quite frankly, that has nothing to do with the brand, has nothing to do with the product, just the messaging, all right? Phase two is obviously what I sort of like to call the feeling content, right? So like, it's either like the environment, the feeling. When someone enters your brand ecosystem, how do you want them to specifically feel, right? So the models, again, if I'm selling clothes to Asians, then my models are going to be Asians, right? So same thing, representing that. Obviously, if you look at Aloe, there's a reason why they post just beautiful Pilates and churches and luxury stuff, because it matches the feeling and mood aesthetic of the brand, right? And third is obviously product. Phase three is obviously product details, right? So two things you need to focus on actual products is obviously number one is the utility, right? So showcasing how my product is actually meant to be used, right? Again, it's like if I have a gym brand, I'm not taking photos in the gym in the cafe. I'm showing them how to use a product in the gym. Second of all is the USP, so obviously the unique selling point of your products. So like what are the leverages you can demonstrate and sort of see that and see how you can find the gap of how can I package that into a content piece and do that. And that's basically the three layers I would sort of shift towards every single week. So messaging content, and messaging can be like a theme as well. When brands drop, especially for like Kilan and like Shape, all those people, when they drop, they always have a theme, right? So the theme changes in terms of messaging. So that's how we operate, right? Because like we want to sell messaging first, and then almost have like a product that's like sell products too, It's like the same thing as like you sort of shopping in a mall, right? And like I just suddenly just come up to you and say, oh, buy my jacket. This you're probably not going to care as much, right? Whereas go in the mall and then you see this like beautiful, amazing, storefront. You go in, it smells nice, customer service amazing, and then you also see the clothes that also you might buy as well. You're more you're gonna buy that, right? Now that's how we want to position our content as well.
So sorry, what did you mention about theme for like a drop, or a theme as in like?
I think overall brand.
Yeah, like overall brand. So there's an overall thing, right? Obviously, I don't expect a brand to drop every single month, right? So like overall message, for example, if my brand is about mental health, then that's like my overall message I want to portray to showcase about mental health. But a theme might be like specific into the collection, right? So for example, if I had a mental health brand, a drop I'm having is maybe like an airplane collection, right? But hoodies for in the airplane, right? So that's a theme. So that's what I mean by theme,
Okay.
Yeah. So like just understanding those three frameworks, I don't think it's very hard for us to run up content as well, right? Just focusing on messaging, the feeling, and product. And that's also something where you have to post 7 times a week. It's just making sure every single content that you release on the Instagram is like with intent. We don't want to just post content just for the sake of posting. Okay, that's a big part.
Okay.
Whereas a personal brand for your digital product, volume. Okay.